Greetings, lectors. As we are approaching the season of Advent, we would like to return officially to the practice of lectors processing in with the gospel book. I should say, lectors processing in with the gospel book when there is no deacon. If the deacon is present, he will carry the gospel book in procession. When a deacon is not present, the lector is permitted and encouraged to do that, so that at the beginning of every liturgy, the gospel book is processed amongst the people to the altar of God. So when you do this, low production of video here, but enough to give you the directions. You are carrying it during the opening procession. You follow the cross and 2 candles, and you are before the presider. When you're carrying the book of the Gospels, you carry it slightly elevated so that it's comfortable enough for you to carry it for the entire duration of the time, and high enough for it to be seen by the people. So we don't need to do this, right? Because that would be very hard to do for the entire procession. It's really more right about here that you carry it in. When you reach the sanctuary steps, you can do a simple bow of the head since you're carrying the book, and then you will proceed up the steps of the sanctuary, going around the right of the altar, and then turning around and facing the assembly and putting the book down onto the altar like that. So notice that the front of the book is facing the direction that you are turning, and then you'll place it on the altar this way, so that when the deacon at the gospel acclamation before the reading of the gospel goes to the altar, he will be able to lift it before the people, and they will see the front of it. Okay? So now we're going to walk through this. So once again, you are after the cross and candles and before the presider, and we walk at a somewhat slower pace than what we normally would. So notice the way I'm doing it. I'm kind of keeping my arms close to my body so that it's less stress on my arms. And then when you approach the step, you can do a simple bow of the head. Proceed up the steps carefully. The book is placed on the altar, facing down. And then it's good for you to simply bow since you're at the altar. And then you return to your seat, which is usually over on this side of the church, whether you are on your own or with your family. Just a reminder that the gospel book is only carried in to the church during the opening procession. It is not carried out. That's just one of the guidelines of the church. So it is processed in, but then it just remains on the amble. However, when Mass is done, you do want to come back and take the gospel book and put it back on the stand in the narthex so that it's ready there for the next liturgy.